right. Good morning, December 17th, Tuesday of 2019. I want to talk about something that's important to me right now. And it's been something that's been important to me for a long time, and maybe you too, is being right. Being right. Okay? And it's actually not important to be right. It's more important to letting go. Let go of being right. Why? Why is that? What is it about being right? Well, our mind is composed of structures. And being right helps us convince ourselves of the solidity and stability of those structures. But those structures have very weak foundations because they are illusory. They're not actually real. They're just in our minds and fabricated. And ultimately, the bars of our own cage, our own prison. So why letting go is important is because once we let go of being right, well, we open ourselves up. It's an act of vulnerability, an act of opening ourselves up to new views, new perspectives, new ways of looking at the world. And when we are open to new ways of viewing the world, we're able to adapt to certain situations and see the relative truth of different situations. And when we can see more and more truths, then we can see the whole view. That there's no one capital T truth. Well, there is, but for our day-to-day living, there's no one capital T truth. There are many, many lowercase t truths. And the more we can see those truths and how they're each valid, well, we're not going to take our own views so seriously, which is going to relieve us of a big burden and start dissolving our ego, or at least putting it in its proper position. So just a few things to think about when you're wanting to be argumentative or express your views, and we can tell when we're attached to our views because they get triggered and we get kind of fiery inside, and we really want, it's important for the other person that we're involved with, whoever's in the conversation, to understand us clearly and to change their mind. We become very convincing, and so just a couple points to make that can help at least logically and rationally realize the futility of your views, or at least that your views are the proper way, the right way. So from where you stand, your view is clear. So think of, the analogy is your actual vision is clear. Okay, you can see right now from where I am, this is my perspective right here. Okay, and that's clear. From where you stand, or from where the other person stands, your view is clear. And from where I stand, my view is clear. Okay, so when I'm wanting to be right, what I'm essentially saying is that you should be able to see my view as I stand here. Even though you're there and you're looking this way, you should be able to see and understand what I'm viewing this way. Okay? And what we do is we try and get that person up, move them, and sit them right where we are. And that's just silly, okay? Their view is just as valid as my view. Is there anything wrong with your view? No, there's nothing wrong with your view or the other person's view. There's nothing wrong. When we're trying to be right, we're implicitly saying there's something wrong with your view and there's something right with mine. So is there anything right with my view? No. There's nothing right with your view. It's just your view. There's nothing right about it. There's no morality to my view. There's nothing wrong with your view. It's just your view. It's a aggregation of your experiences that have led you up to this point, your beliefs, whatever. So when you start understanding that there's nothing wrong with other people's views, that it makes perfect sense given their life experience, and that there's nothing right with your view, it also makes perfect sense given your life experiences, then you spend less energy trying to convert their wrong view to your right view, and instead try and understand their view, to understand, to overstand their view, to put yourself in their shoes and see, how could this person think this way? Oh, okay, well, I'm going to have to dig a little deeper to understand why this person thinks this way. So it's an investment to understand other people's views. That's why, look at the world. It's so much easier to demonize other people's views and ways of life instead of trying to understand why they're doing, thinking, and feeling a certain way. But guess what? The way that you think and feel and act is unique to you. If you can start to grasp, even just a little, and open the doorway that others don't think the way you think, others don't feel the way you feel, see the way you see, well, then you're opening your world to diversity, my friend. And that's good. Well, I'll say it's more effective at evolving is embracing diversity, depending on your own goals. So I was thinking about this being right. I was like, letting go of being right. It's so interesting because here we have a direction. It's got a meaning of being correct, but it's also a direction, being right. Or for you, yeah, being right. And I thought, whoa, that's imbalanced. If we're always trying to be right, then we're imbalanced. We're always on one side. What about being left? What happened to being left? Huh? Isn't that interesting? When we're trying to be right, we're trying to get people to be included in our views because we're afraid of being left. Being left what? Being left alone. There's one theory. Being left. What about being felt? Huh? Are we afraid of being felt? And who feels? Who's feeling? Who's afraid of being felt? Us. We feel. When we're being right, we're so focused on the external instead of feeling what's going on internal. Being right is nothing but a reflection of external thinking and imbalanced external thinking. And being left alone, what happens? We start feeling ourselves. Huh? Giving ourselves attention. Self-care. We start coming back into balance. Okay? This is deep shit. Letting go of being right helps us to embrace being left. Helps us to embrace being felt by ourselves. And guess what? When we start feeling ourselves, giving attention to ourselves, then we're finally worthy of getting the attention from others, perhaps having a partner. This is growing up right here, in a nutshell. Self-care. It's not soft. It's the hardest thing you could do. It's the biggest accomplishment, giving yourself the attention that you're seeking from the outside world. And you're seeking it by being right. And this is not just about convincing others about your opinion. Try to be right. This is deep. Trying to be right. Okay? We try to be right when we avoid other types of people. We try and be right when we associate with groups. Okay. All right. I hope this helps. Let go of being right. Be left. Bye.